In this video, we'll look at the roles of Parliament. Overall, Parliament needs to govern the people by making laws, but both houses and the Crown play distinct roles in creating an effective lawmaking body. When you're answering a question on the role of Parliament, make sure you're prepared to not only describe the roles of Parliament, but you should also be able to comment on whether Parliament actually fulfills its roles. Let's imagine we're answering a question on the role of Federal Parliament, starting with the House of Representatives. The House of Reps fulfills some very important roles. Firstly, it houses government. It also represents the majority of people in Australia. Each member of the House of Reps represents about 80,000 people, meaning that no group of people should get special preference in this House. Most pieces of legislation are initiated in the House of Representatives, including all financial bills. When revising, pick at least 2 of these roles to memorise. Now, we'll move on to the role of the Senate, which has 2 main roles. The first is to act as the state's house. This prevents bigger states like New South Wales and Victoria from dominating the lawmaking process.
Excuse me?
Oh hey, it's Michaela.
Why would it be such a bad thing for the states with more people to have more control? Most people do come from New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland after all.
That's a good point, Michaela. But keep in mind that if we never make an effort to represent the views of the minority as well as the majority, there will be a group of people who never feel like Parliament looks after their interests. Now, the second role of the Senate is to act as the House of Review. Most bills are introduced to the lower house first, which means that the Senate has the ability to really review, scrutinise and amend the bill before passing or blocking it.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, the Senate doesn't always review the legislation very well, does it? If one party has control of both houses, it can pass legislation without scrutiny, and the Senate would be nothing but a rubber stamp.
That's a good point, and that did happen in 2004 when John Howard was Prime Minister, but it's not that common for one political party to have that much influence. In recent times, minor parties like the Greens and the Palmer United Party have held the balance of power in the Senate, which generally allows for greater debate.
Does it though? Isn't there a chance that the minor parties would use that opportunity to have more power? They could vote in favour of a bill without reviewing it, and instead just agree to vote yes in return for something that they want.
It's definitely a flawed process with the potential for power imbalances. But let's move on to the role of the Crown. The Governor-General fulfills a number of ceremonial roles rather than wielding real power. For example, he gives royal assent to bills which makes them into laws. He also officially appoints ministers and dissolves the lower house at election time. To sum up, you should try to memorise at least 2 roles of each arm of Parliament. Make sure you also have an opinion on how well each arm fulfills their roles. Thanks for watching and happy studying.